already gone there during my first mediation. The library. No, that's not... Why would we go to the library? I mean, I get your line of thought. Libraries can tell you a lot about a world's history. And I would bet there are computers there too, considering the world we're in. Unfortunately, that kind of knowledge probably won't be so helpful for this job. Well, what about scholarly journals? Reliable sources? No, I think we should find a bar. Huh? What is it? Oh, well, I just had a thought. Are the bars here special, like library bars? I figured maybe you'd like a drink as you read, maybe. Winter, stop thinking about libraries. Sorry. Bars here should be important as far as I'm aware. We'll head there because bars are where people go to talk. Cyrus then turns to walk away as if it is the next natural thing to do. Well, it is not. I stand incredulously for 3 full seconds before realizing that we are supposed to move ahead. I probably mispronounced that. It's a word I've never seen before. Well, here we are, walking alone. Is this a street? I've seen a few vehicles pass us by, so I guess it is. Or I could say that I've heard them, for they have been loud. They are pretty sorry excuses for transportation, though. They have these grotesque metal protrusions out of their fronts, which billow dark smoke and occasionally drip liquid. As if that weren't bad enough, most every frame of these things looks like a bludgeoned team went wild on it. They were such bewildering things that they distracted me from the matter at hand. Cyrus, is he not going to elaborate at all? He just walked off after telling me that people talk at bars. Thanks, Cyrus. I would not have guessed that people talk at places. Isn't he supposed to be teaching me? How can I learn anything with such vague statements? Well, Winter, well, you need to go to the ice cream parlor, Winter, because they sell food, Winter, well. Goodness, how annoying. And hasn't he been annoying since orientation, pestering me and staring at me, an annoying and unlikable person, this Cyrus, with a reputation like that, I hear. I mean, seriously, don't people talk everywhere? Sir, don't people talk everywhere? Isn't that the sort of thing humans are known for in general? Well, aren't you snippy? Oh crap, I just ruined everything, didn't I? I need to stop thinking so much, or let my thoughts slip out. I shouldn't have said it like that. Here's my superior. I bet he'll lower my grade now. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to be... It's just a bit frustrating when you don't explain yourself properly. Oh? I thought it was mostly self-explanatory. Not really at all, sir. Well, maybe it is, but I don't really know anything about bars. I've never even seen the outside of one. Ah, that's right. We're really not into drinking back home, are we? I don't know if I would say that, but perhaps not everyone is the same. Well, bars are generally a place where people go to unwind, and the alcohol loosens their lips, so to speak. They'll talk about almost anything, themselves, their troubles, and often the root of the problems will involve what is troubling the world's people. It's a useful place to visit. Speaking of problems, what was the issue of the last world you visited? Pollution. The world was kind of oldish and much less practical than ours. They kept throwing out their stuff wrong and had bad ways of making energy. The water ended up getting poisoned and a lot of them were sick. Long-term project, I assume? Yeah, my mentor had already been working on it for a while before I came. I think it was around 5 months. That's so. Glad I'm assigned short-term projects. It'd be something awful to get stuck with the same problem for nearly a year. I agree, but I wouldn't know about the way you said that. How long did you shadow her? 3 days. I see. You've never had alcohol, have you? What? No, sir. I would never... I mean, I'm too young. I stop in my tracks and he stops to turn. His lips then curl up in a kind of "oh" expression, owing me at my innocence, right to be defiled. It is creepy. I am uncomfortable. No, you wouldn't do anything against the rules, would you? Is this a test? A trick? A challenge? No, sir, I would not. His smile broadens at this, and my discomfort increases. You know, Winter, each world you visit will have its own laws, its own customs, and its own social graces. You're going to have to learn to make your mind a little more flexible if you want to succeed. I'm going to have you drink some alcohol at the bar. 1 second, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, I just need to go and get some water. Reading all this is making my throat a bit dry. Excuse me? I don't want to. Besides, I'm underage. It's against the law. Well, Winter, in many cultures you will be expected to drink, even at your current age. You should be ready for that, and you should know the effects alcohol has on yourself and others. What? He's telling me to break the law? Whoa, no. No. That is completely out of my comfort zone. I probably hate alcohol even, right? I did not want to do this. I mean, I know we're in another world, so it's not really the law, but... No, this is my conviction. I was born and raised to a set of rules, and I think it would be best to live by them. It is like what I learned in class. One might think it best to try absorbing all aspects of cultures met, however it is not advisable. In absorbing a culture, you run the risk of becoming absorbed by that culture as well. Mediators should not forget who they are. I am Winter Harrison. I will not be shaken by this. I don't think I can do that, sir. Winter. That's an order. This is part of your training. If you do not drink alcohol at the bar, I will be forced to fail you. What? That isn't... That's not allowed. You can't make me do anything. I most certainly can. I'm your mentor. Only for today, and you aren't always going to be that. Besides, you can't threaten me because I have my convictions and I won't forget who I am. I'm right. I can tell I'm right because my cheeks are flushed, my heart is pounding, and he looks wounded. I heard him. I struck out against him, and he knows he's wrong. It isn't just enough that he's hurting inside, though. I need to teach him a lesson. I need to knock it into him. Therefore, I will raise this trembling arm and trembling fist. I will raise it and grit my teeth, and I'll punch him right in his pathetic-looking chest. Ah. What? Winter, what is this? I'm rebelling against you. Did you just punch me? I nod my head quickly and with purpose. You did. What does it look like? My fist smashed into your ribs, didn't it? Well, smashed is... And all of a sudden my hair goes pap as if something heavy has lightly fallen on it. I glance up to find Cyrus resting his hand on my head. Although I know what he is doing, in fact I just said so, I still am compelled to ask, what are you doing? Winter, fine, I won't force you to drink. You mean you can't. I mean I won't. I will, however, put forth a certain suggestion. It'd be very wise of you to drink. It will help you ease into the taste of another place. I know what they've taught you, and I'd be lying if I said I ignore it. I know what they taught you, and I'd be lying if I said I ignore what I've learned. Just remember the way it's worded. You're allowed to let yourself go a little, just don't forget. I haven't forgotten, neither have you, it seems. But you shouldn't be afraid of stepping outside of yourself, if only for a little while. In a sense, that's what you've been doing already. Fail. In a sense, that's what you're doing already in being here. So I urge you, Winter, have a pint. I'll just a little. Good enough. Well, there's a bar. Come on, Winter. That's a bar. What makes it any different from the other stores? It looks just the same from outside. They don't seem to pride themselves on distinction out here. I run my hand through my hair and grimace. I wonder if since all the storefronts look like this, maybe they're all bars? What terrible thought. What if this is a culture which loves to drink? Will I be expected to drink a lot? I hope not. Warily, I begin to follow Cyrus. What am I doing? This is so illegal. I wonder if I can report this. Okay, brace for it. No amount of alcohol, tingled breath could be enough to prepare me for a bar's smell, surely. Mother always talks about how awful bars are, and how that's why she only ever drinks at home. Sweaty and piggish and smelling like failure. This can only lead to misery. Let's actually go ahead and save. But I'd like to go and have quite a few saves, just in case anything goes wrong with recording. Slowly, I part the fingers over my nostrils. Oh, never mind. It does not smell at all. Cut that out, Winter. You look ridiculous. Hey, leave me be. Or leave me alone. I've been misled. Slowly, I put my hand down, but not without glancing at Cyrus. He ignores this, of course, and walks over to an empty table to have a seat. He then pats the top of the chair next to him, inviting me. Well, whatever. I follow his lead, still cautious of this place. Notice how there's only a few people here, although it's lunch hour? What do you imagine that means? Most of the people here really like to work? Or maybe they really have to. Well, it's probably a good thing that this place is empty. Too many customers might be a bit overwhelming for you. It can also make it rather difficult to actually find out anything. I see. There are only 4 other people in the bar besides us, all of whom are men and all thrice my age by the look of it. The 2 seem to be customers or dressed in a rather rough manner, like they walked out of a construction site. I'm not the type to pride myself on appearance or anything, but I actually feel slightly embarrassed for them. They aren't the first in this world to look so deplorable, though. In fact, I would say they look fairly good by comparison. Most people I've seen look like they picked their outfits from a pile of rags. I'm accidentally just hit my mic, but it didn't sound like it did anything, hopefully. Thankfully, the other 2, both in uniform, are very presentable. The waiter, or he's probably the waiter, looks rather spiffy, and the man behind the counter is quite cleanly dressed, so this world is not entirely hopeless. But enough about men in clothes. The wall behind the counter is far more interesting. There are 2 lengthy rows of widely varying bottles, some round, some square, and some outright peculiar. Admittedly, I am enticed. Only for a second, I assure you, after all. I have been told that alcohol tastes like piss. Well, I wouldn't know myself. I've never tried it. What? You've never tried alcohol? No, piss. It isn't the best until you get used to it. That aside, I've also been told that it makes you act like a twit, causing bouts of forgetfulness and slowly poisons your liver. That is true to a point. Eventually, you become addicted to it. Not everyone does, but there's the possibility. Then why drink it? Some people enjoy losing control of themselves, and many love to forget. You'll see for yourself and be able to form your own opinions soon. I'd rather not. Honestly, I am more than fine with following the popular opinion. It is often correct and has saved me a lot of trouble in the past. While my thoughts wander to say for days, the man who I believe is the waiter comes to our table. What can I get you? 2 beers, any brand you'd like. Coming right up. When he departs, I find myself curious about 2 things. Firstly, I have to drink 2 beers? No, 1 is for me. Why would you want to drink 1? I'm one of the people who enjoy losing a bit of control over themselves. I would not have pegged him for the sort. At any rate, the second thing. What's a brand, sir? Does it have something to do with fire and iron? Pardon? Well, we used to brand cattle and other animals with a symbol that would associate them with their farmer, right? That is, if I remember my history. That was with fire and iron, so this is something similar? I'm not saying something stupid, am I? Is it how the alcohol is made, perhaps? Are the ingredients burned in some way before they're officially beer? Maybe with some sort of spiritual symbol? They do call them spirits, after all. There must be a reason for that, right? Why isn't he saying anything? Or is it something to do with real spirits? Like some sort of rite where each batch is brewed in honor of someone who's died. I mean, I've read these places can be very strange and... Am I close? Oh, please let me be close. No. No, you are not close. Crap. I should have shut up way earlier. Why did I ramble like that? Now I look like a fool. Honestly, though, I am a little disappointed. Some fantasy would be nice. Winter, I'm starting to think you've already gotten yourself drunk off the atmosphere.